Hello everyone, Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia, bringing you a really quick, beautiful card for Christmas using a new stamp set that is available in a brand new catalogue called His Light. This is such a gorgeous stamp set for those beautiful, crisp, clear, religious type Christmas cards. So I'm going to use our tin tile textured impressions embossing folder. This is one of our dynamic impressions embossing folder, and I'm going to use a beautiful combination of crumb cake, blackberry bliss, and some of our gold foil. So let's get moving and get organized. So I've got a base that I'll be using, which is crumb cake. It's cut at 5 3/4 by 8 inches. So I'm just going to fold that base in half and crease it with my bone folder. Now I'm going to, with my Blackberry Bliss piece of cardstock, I'm actually going to emboss this, but I'm also going to use a brand new product, which is called our Vegas Gold Shimmer Paint when we do this. You will absolutely love this textured embossing folder. It is simply gorgeous. So I'm just going to bring in the big shot. Okay, now with our textured embossing folders, because they're the thick ones, we only need to use just our base platform. We don't actually use the thin die adapter. I'm going to place that nicely into my embossing folder. Now, they have a line that you can line up your embossing folder with here. I'm not going to line it up that much. I'm just trying to make sure that I've got even pieces both sides on my piece of cardstock. Now I'm going to place the fold going through my Big Shot machine first. I'm just going to pull that plate out a little bit further. I'm just going to pop on one cutting plate over the top and wind that through. Okay, and what you will see is we get this beautiful embossed piece of cardstock, and it has really, really deep impressions in that cardstock. So it's a little bit like the ceilings in the old plaster ceilings in the homes that had the workings on them, similar to that. So now what I'm actually going to use is I'm going to bring in my gold shimmer paste because I want to actually just jazz this up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake that up first. These are brand new in our holiday catalogue, so probably by the time you're watching this, it will have already been released, because on the 5th of September, you will be able to purchase these products. So I'm just going to use a sponge dauber. Actually, I can probably get it out of in there, which will be nice. So I just want to sponge it around on my block a little bit. And then I'm just going to just rub gently over this impressions folder, and look at those beautiful patterns starting to appear on this lovely embossed piece of cardstock. So what it actually does is it grabs onto the raised up pieces on our cardstock and just accentuates those raised up pieces. Okay, so as you can see, we now have a beautiful textured, lovely, shimmery piece of embossed cardstock. Okay, so I'll just pop those aside. Okay, so the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of embossing on our piece of crumb cake. Now I've cut this crumb cake 2 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and it fits nicely with our stamp. It will fit nicely on there. So I'm going to use my embossing buddy to make sure I have no static and no oily fingerprints on my cardstock. I'm going to mount up my stamp on a block. Is that one going to be big enough? No, I need a bigger one. Okay, that one. Okay, so I'm just going to mount my stamp up and get it looking quite straight. Okay, like so. Then I'm going to grab my Versamark ink pad and I'm going to ink up the word rejoice with my Versamark ink pad. Now, Versamark is a sticky, clear ink that our embossing powder is going to stick to. Okay, so then I'm going to stamp that down onto my cardstock. Okay, trying to center that in the middle of my cardstock and stamp down. Now this gives us a watermark impression, like so. That's even quite nice, even just looking at the watermark, but I want to pop some gold embossing powder over the top of that. So I'm just going to bring in just a scrap piece of paper just to pop underneath, so I catch my gold embossing powder. I'm just going to tip that gold embossing powder over the top of my stamped image. And that embossing powder is then going to stick, as you will see, to my stamped image. Now, if there's any pieces that you think shouldn't be there, just with a fine little paintbrush, you can brush it off. Tip the rest back into my container. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in my heat tool and we're going to heat up our embossing powder. On heat setting number 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, pardon the noise here, I'm going to heat this from underneath. And you will see once the heat hits and the embossing changes colour, and there it goes. Okay, this is so much fun, heat embossing. It is probably the most exciting thing, I would say, in all of my card making, and I still never ever tire of watching that heat embossing appear. It's just simply gorgeous. It gives you a beautiful gold raised up lettering, and as you'll see, shiny and absolutely beautiful. So just heat that until it goes nice and smooth for you, but it gives you a beautiful sentiment. Okay, so we're going to let that cool a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my embossed piece of cardstock, and I'm also going to grab, just want a little slither of gold shimmer that I'm going to pop under there. So I'll just bring in my cutter and I'll cut a strip of gold glimmer paper. Okay, so all I want is, I'm thinking just 1/4 of an inch. I just want just a little slither, maybe 1/2 an inch. Just a little slither to go underneath our sentiment on the front. Okay, so I'm going to use my liquid Tombow and I'm going to pop my sentiment onto my gold foil card. Now I've cut my gold foil card just with 1/8 of an inch larger than what my sentiment is. So because I cut this at 4 1/4 inches by 2 inches, I've cut it at 2 1/8 by 4 3/8, just to get that beautiful slither of gold behind my sentiment. Press that down. Okay, now I'm just going to pop this card together. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is with my embossed layer, I'm going to pop some liquid Tombow on that and layer that up onto my crumb cake base. Now, as I said, all of these items are available through my online store, and to find my online store, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you will find in the show more box down below, you will find the link to my online store. I will also have the codes that if you just click on the name of the item, and that will take you straight to my store as well. So the stamp set, I'll have the name of the stamp set and all of the items that I've used. So if you wanted to purchase any of these items that I have used, they are available through my online store, and I would absolutely love your business. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Northern Rivers area of New South Wales. I can sell to anybody Australia-wide. It doesn't matter where you live. I can sell to you as long as you live in Australia. I'm not allowed to sell outside of Australia, but as long as you live in Australia, I can sell to you. Even if you live over in Western Australia, I can still sell to you. Okay, so I've got all the backings off that. Now what I want to do is, I just want to pop this strip. I want it to be going all the way across underneath here. So what I'm going to do is pop a little bit of Tombow on there, and I'm just going to trim it to the size that I need when I get it on there. Okay, so a little bit of Tombow. I'm going to line that up with the left-hand side edge and just pop it on like so. Get it nice and straight, just like so. Okay. And then with my scissors, I'm just going to trim just that off, equal with my cardstock, like so. Okay, I might just pop a little, oh no, it's got enough there. Okay, and then I'm just going to pop this one over the top. Actually, I'm going to bring in something a little bit more oomph. Pardon my head here. I'm going to bring in some of my gold metallic thread. I love this for just adding a little bit of interest just underneath your sentiments. And get the sticky tape off. So how this works, you just grab it and just around your fingers, wrap it around your fingers a few times. Okay, snip it off. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to twist that so that it looks a little bit like a bit of a bow, and stick it into my center dimensional, and just pop the ends back in onto my dimensional. Okay, so there it just creates a really cute bit of interest behind our sentiment. And then I'm just going to line that up in the center. So there you have a super, super cute card using our beautiful His Light stamp set and our beautiful textured embossing folder, tin tile textured embossing folder, and using some of our beautiful Vegas gold shimmer paint. So I hope you enjoyed my video, and if this is the first time you've watched me on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to my video and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any videos, any crafting that I do. I craft several times a week. I'm over on Facebook. You will find the link to my Facebook business page down below. Please feel free, if you're on Facebook, to go over there. I do at least 2 to 3 live videos a week, crafting and showing you all of the beautiful products that we have with Stampin' Up. And if you haven't come across Stampin' Up products before and you're a crafter, you will be totally amazed at the beautiful quality of our products that we have. So I hope you all enjoyed that today, and until next time, have a lovely day. Happy crafting. Bye for now.